Hey, happy Sunday. How are you this evening? If you are live, I'd love for you to just jump in. We're going to talk a little bit about pause and reflection tonight. So I hope you're taking a pause from whatever it is you're doing. Let me know what you're in the middle of. And if you're watching this on a replay, just do hashtag replay. This will be the wrap of my week. We're going to go back. I have a few fun things that we're sending out to friends for those of you who've been interacting and participating and present. And just going to check. It looks like we have a feed here. So just going to dive in and talk to you a little bit about the pause, the reflection. I went to an incredible service this morning, and I don't know about you, but every time I leave a service, I stop and I'm like, what did I enjoy about that today? Or what resonated with me today? Or what was meaningful? Or what message did I hear? I think a lot of times we go and we enjoy and we praise and we leave and life goes on. And that's one of the areas of my life that I've learned to stop and take a moment, take a pause and reflect. There's a lot of different moments throughout our day, experiences, things that happen, people we interact with, and there's so often things to learn, and most often than not, we're not taking the opportunity to just kind of sit and be present and reflect and determine what that experience is trying to teach us. So this morning, and I'm going to try not to cry. Oh, wow! It was an incredible service this morning. Brian Welch, who otherwise known as Head, who is the lead guitarist from Korn, was interviewed. And so if that's something that you're really curious about and want to learn a little bit more, on my feed right here on Facebook, I shared the live link to Parkview, and you can go there and see the service. You know, for this morning it was broadcast live at 10:30. And I walked away and I said to Brooke, I said, what did you think of today's service? You know, what did you like? What did you love? So these are always reflecting questions for me. It doesn't matter if it's a business event that I go on, a church service that I attend. It doesn't matter if it's a vacation. I'm always saying, you know, what did you enjoy? What did you love? What did you like about that? And I'm always looking for the lesson. I'm always looking for, what did you hear? What did you learn? What really resonated with you? And there was just something about that moment today. And I've not taken many of you. I think there's only 2 people, my husband being one, and a very, very dear friend. Maybe there's 3 people that really know about my own personal journey. And I'm not going to share, you know, much of that with you here tonight. But I just want to take you back with me for a moment, because every step of the way, there's always moments, things that happen in our life, people that come into our life, experiences that happen, and so often we're in this fast pace that we don't take the moment to stop and reflect. We so often let those opportunities pass us by, and those are teaching moments. People always say that, you know, the greatest lesson is experience. It's the best teacher, right? But the reality is, reflecting on the experiences and evaluating those experiences, that's the best teacher, because you can have these amazing experiences, and if you don't walk away learning the lesson, the experience is for naught. It truly is. So I want you to think about your day today. Just, you know, in a moment, every night, take 5 minutes and sit back and kind of reflect on the day. What did I love about today? Did I learn anything? Did I come across anybody? Did anybody teach me anything today? Did I hear anything? I have gotten really good at the pause, almost too good at the pause. I could be in, you know, mid-conversation with Larry, and I just go silent. And I just start thinking and processing about what he's talking about, and try to find the moment in there that I can pass on, or something that, you know, connects to something that I'm supposed to hear, I'm supposed to understand. Do you dig into conversations? I think about this when I'm working with clients all the time. And when you're reflecting, the most important part of reflection is to be asking questions, right? And so whenever I'm working with a client, I'm never trying to give them the answers. I'm always trying to understand, because more often than not, what they're telling me at a surface level is not necessarily what they're really trying to say. Usually it's something so much deeper, so much more than what they're willing to articulate on a first interview or in a first meeting. And so I really challenge you as you reflect on this, reflect on your day today. For me, that's when learning happens. I kind of sit back and go, oh, you know, I can walk away with understanding, you know, from service today that, you know, God does pursue us, and that even during hard times, sometimes really difficult times, He's still present. And there's those moments where I'm like, is this what life is going to look like? Is this the hardship I have to endure? Is this, instead of looking at it that way, I have to stop myself and go, you know what? In this moment, there's a learning opportunity. There's a teaching opportunity here. There is something, there's a lesson here, and I'm going to stay here until I've learned this lesson. And I've done this, you know, a couple times. And I'm just, you know, I'm talking about today's service because it really was so poignant to me, and it led me into this topic of reflection today. And I think about my own personal journey where I went on an 18-month sabbatical. And during that journey, I completely surrendered. And I have a lot of times people ask me, well, what does complete surrender look like? And when I say I completely surrendered, I did. I dedicated a year and a half to learning and growing. I dove into marriage ministry group. I was a single mom. I didn't date at all for 18 months. I never went out. I didn't go out to the bar and have a drink with friends. The most that I would do was maybe meet a girlfriend for dinner here and there. And honestly, I could probably count on one hand in 18 months the amount of times I did that. My surrender was a complete deep dive into my faith. It was a deep dive into who I was and learning and growing personally. So everybody's surrender looks different. And I haven't ever really shared, but I was listening today and I was reflecting on what Brian Welch was talking about and how God pursued him and where he was and in his journey. And mine was completely different. But I stop and I'm like, oh my gosh, I go back because I chronicled most of those moments where I saw God chasing me down, and I never talked about it. I thought people are going to think I'm crazy. People are going to be like, are you serious? That really happened? But He did, and it's so awesome. It's so cool. But I look at those moments and I'm like, gosh, there were so many teachable moments, not only for me, but for my kids, for other people. And I've held back on sharing many of those moments because they frightened me. But I was in awe and I was tickled and I was excited, and I couldn't look back now and go, my gosh, you know, God really does have a sense of humor. If it wasn't for my opportunity to sit back and reflect and not be distracted by the rest of the world, to not be distracted by the noise of what society tells me, to not be distracted by friends and influences and things that would take me off that path. It was in standing still. It was in that time, that pause, and I will write about that, I promise you, because it is so profound what that journey did to my life, how it changed my life, but more importantly, how it changed me as a person. So if you feel like you're still running the rat race, if you feel like there's not enough pause, there's not enough calm in your life, if you're trying to still do everything for everybody and you can't even be present with yourself, you can't even be present in your own body and in your own mind, I really encourage you to just take a moment at the end of every night, or take a moment every morning and just pause and look at the day. And this is where gratitude happens for me. This is where I am just so grateful for another day with my husband and my children, and in my health, and just so many things that I am surrounded by, the love that I feel. And so I want you to just take a few moments every day and learn to pause, learn to reflect, because the only way that you can truly grow is allowing these experiences to catch up with you. They will never catch up with you if you're still running a million miles a minute. And please hear me when I say every day, you will never be able to give 100% to every single thing you do. So really identify what your priorities are. And as simple as like 1 and 2. And sometimes maybe it's only one thing that you can dedicate 100% time, effort, and energy to. And that's fine. We are so pulled in so many different directions. And if you continue to allow yourself to be pulled in that manner, you'll never find the pause. You'll never find the opportunity for growth. You'll never find the peace that you're looking for. You'll never have that opportunity to really be clear in your mind, clear in your heart, clear in the space that you're living in. Everybody has a story, guys. And if you think that your story is not relevant or not important, it's a lie. It so is, because there's somebody that can be blessed from you, your story, your journey. Take those experiences, understand what they are. They're teachable moments. For me, there's so many teachable moments to my children. There's so many teachable moments that I can teach other women. There's so many incredible opportunities to share and love. So whatever the area that you feel that you need the most growth in, is it relationships, right? Is it your personal growth? Start asking questions. If you feel like, and I felt like this for a long time, I felt like, gosh, I suck. I really suck at relationships. Like, this is not my thing. Like, my family, my relationships, my children, why am I so bad? And I started to learn about love languages. I asked, how do I bring value to other people? Am I adding or subtracting to other people? Do I know the love language of my husband? Do I know the love language of my children? And guess what? Your coworkers, they have love languages too. So if the relationships around you aren't healthy, right? And you also have to be very careful, and you have to be willing to let go of very toxic relationships. You have to be willing to walk away, because you know what? They're not going to grow you, guys. They're not. So if it's your personal growth, right? What are you doing to invest in you every single day? Is it 10 to 15 minutes? Is it this opportunity to reflect on what happened in your day, reflect on experiences that you have, reflect on conversations that you have with other people? If anything I'm saying to you is resonating with you, let me know. Hashtag relationships, hashtag love, hashtag personal. Whatever it is, whatever area you feel like you need the most growth in, I will be more than happy to flood you with a list of questions that you can start to ask. But please, don't forget to take this moment, take the pause, enjoy the pause, and learn from the pause. I hope you're having a beautiful and blessed Sunday, everyone. Thanks for letting me share a little bit with you today. Have a beautiful week and make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon.